Bears fans, YouTube, football is officially back, and the Bears open up their Hall of Fame first preseason game with a 21-17 win over the Texans. DJ Moore and Jordan Love have new contracts. We're going to talk about these stuff. And
was it a win though? They kind of cut it short.
They called it a win. I think for gambling purposes. I thought about that. There are people, degenerates, who are definitely betting on this game. I think he was officially logged as a win.
So actually, I looked it up. So fun fact on that, on like DK, like Bet Rivers, like and Barstool, the big ones. I'm sure I'm picking MGM. It needs to go 55 minutes for it to be in order to count it as an actual like completed game.
Really?
So like you have to complete 50. So all all bets were voided.
Really?
Yes.
Is that true? Okay.
Not maybe if you hit the over, maybe you still hit. But if you had the spread or anything like that, none of them hit our money line.
I guess my initial thought was like, if we looked in the standings right now, I bet it would say Bears 1-0. But I guess the sports books probably have the liberty to decide what's a win and what's not. Although maybe at the end of the day they shouldn't. But anyway, that's just a quick aside. Johnny CMD here, the main event, Kevin Haggerty. Bears fans talk. We are finally getting into the meat and potatoes of our second season doing this. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. We're up to 75 subscribers now, Kevin. Remember when we wanted to get to 100 subscribers before the draft and we would go?
Yeah, we got to we think we topped out at 69 right before. Well, maybe a little less than that. But yeah, no, we're climbing though. I think once we start obviously getting contact, we get back to our weekly schedule and we have Bears football, which this season is going to be the most exciting Bears season.
Without a doubt.
Probably in history since we'll call it 1985. How about that? And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be electric. Every week we'll be breaking down games, looking like what happened, what went right, what went wrong, and looking ahead. Not only looking at the Bears, kind of, looking at the landscape in the NFL. Just kind of, just two bros talking.
Just two bros talking.
A pop and pop
shop. Here in the basement of Edison Park. So
let's go.
No advertisers. No.
We got one.
No money.
Elevate Coffee.
We do. Okay, but he hasn't started stifling with our creativity just yet.
Not just yet. He's not influencing us enough with the coffee.
All right.
Soon.
So before we get into the first preseason game, you said you had a fun fact to share with me about the Big Ten.
Oh, Big Ten. So this is football related here. So there are now 14 teams in the Big Ten.
I would have guessed more, honestly, at this point. It could, I don't know, whatever. So
because UW joined, USC, UCLA, and Oregon joined. So all since the Pac-12 is no longer, anyways, they came over. So I saw a fun thing, alphabetically in the Big Ten. What do you think? Oh, 18 now. I'm sorry. So there's 18.
No, this is 14.
Yeah, but now there's 18 with the addition of USC, UCLA, Oregon, and UW.
Where does it say 18? Oh.
Yeah, so now 18. Wow. So I said 14.
Because this is 14, but now it says, okay, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so now there's 18 teams. Alphabetically, what is the first college in the Big Ten?
Alphabetically?
Yeah.
It might be Iowa. Is it Iowa?
Illinois.
I had the thought, what comes first, an O or an L?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Isn't that? But it's very interesting alphabetically.
A, B, C, D, E.
Okay, here we go.
How many? What letter is?
But I was a good guess because you wouldn't think it though that I is the first letter numerically with 18 teams.
I can't listen to you talk and figure out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So it's ninth.
Yeah.
Ninth letter in the okay.
It's not. With 18 teams, you think there's something closer.
Did we talk about in the podcast? I saw a it was just some random post on Instagram that was does anyone else feel that Q is too early in the alphabet?
Q?
Yeah. Q comes before R, S, and T.
Q, R, S, T.
Yeah, so it's very early in the alphabet. And it feels like it should be right around. Did that not kind of strike a chord with you too? When I just said it to you, because when I was just when I heard someone say that, I was just I have always felt that way. And the post goes on to say Q should be in the back of the alphabet with the rest of the goth letters.
Yeah, Z, Y, Z.
Yeah, Z, Y, X, W.
So I know you don't do Miss Rachel, but my son's he's actually really starting to talk a lot. So we do a lot. He can't say cup right now. Mm-hmm. Working on cup, so I use the Miss Rachel C is a letter, K is the sound that it makes. I'm telling you,
so what part of cup is he not grasping?
C, the cup.
Oh, okay.
The K, you go up. I'm no, cup, pronunciate.
Okay.
But anyways, so when I get to Q, I'll get Q is a letter, K, no, qua
I thought you were gonna say something. He was like dropping hard C words instead of.
No.
All right.
Let's hop into preseason football. Talk about the game a little bit.
Yeah, so I watched it after we got back from basketball on Thursday night.
After I rolled my ankle brutally.
Yeah, you sure did.
It was pretty awful.
Really let the team down and pick up basketball. But anyway.
Up 10, lose by 20. I'm not saying I'm the reason, but I'm saying I'm the reason.
So, just because I don't want to get hot about this again.
Yeah.
So, it's the first preseason game. We knew that there were no starters. I'm not sure if we talked about it on last week's podcast.
No.
But I'm kind of glad. I just think so. In the times that I've seen, like the things that I've seen, the limited stuff that's kind of come out of practice, it seems like Caleb is doing really well in the 7-on-7s.
Yep.
And it sounds like when they're doing like the 2-minute drives, the live stuff with full like offensive, defensive linemen, it seems like that's where some of like the miscues have been coming out, which just makes me believe that maybe this offensive line needs a little bit more time to gel before we just throw them out into the fire.
But here's what I'm going to say: they counter that, and like I get why you didn't play, but the counter to it, which I kind of believe in, is like first of all, it's an extra preseason game that you get. Less than more than anyone else.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He's never played before. Second of all, you're not gonna call some play action fake double move to get him a chance to get laid out, right? If anything, they're gonna be a couple runs, maybe a slant route, maybe a hitch route, maybe something in the flats. I'm just saying though, it would have been very vanilla.
I forget of where the trajectory of his career this happened, but I am 90% sure that Rex Grossman had a season-ending knee injury in a preseason game. So stuff like that happens. But
Rexy is never Caleb Williams.
But it could still happen, man.
I mean, anything. The Derrick Rose injury, the Boobie Miles injury,
but you know what?
Always happen.
For the purposes of this being like an extra preseason game, maybe it's just like you use that as mentally use that time mentally prepare yourself.
Pretend.
But you don't need to play. You don't need to play to do that. Just kind of put yourself in the motions. What's your game day routine? What do you need to do to get yourself hyped up? Like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he didn't play. I'm kind of glad none of the starters played. But I'm kind of interested that our Torrey Taylor, our new punter, didn't get out there.
Yeah, he did.
He did not. Did he? I missed it. He wasn't kicking the balls.
So
he held. Which was I don't know why
new
they did
kickoff because they're practicing, dog. Mm-hmm. These are completely new rules.
Yeah.
So if it goes, I was still they made a big deal about it on the broadcast, which was good because
no one would have known what the hell was going on.
Not only that, but I had this buddy who came over from England or whatever, and they all came over. I went to a game in Washington with them, and they're huge fans. They're from England, and they say the hardest thing about football and picking up football are all the rules.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You don't realize how many rules there are in football until you watch a Sunday night football game. And Chris Collinsworth breaks down something that we've never seen before. But it seems like every week there's a new subsection of the rule, and to get the rules down on that new thing to me is really important.
Yeah.
So it was good to see Taylor come out and hold the ball. Yeah. So then
he has to run off the field.
Then he has to run right off the field. But do you remember what the old rule was?
That was just one of the guys. Yeah.
Correct. So one of the 11 would have to do it, and then he had to go and run down. So dude, these are very interesting rules in my opinion. It's good to get them down because they're going to come and play.
How did you feel about the new kickoff as a whole, when you were watching it?
I thought that there was a reason Devin Hester got into the Hall of Fame, and it was because they ended that era of football.
Yeah.
Right? Hester was the best to ever do it, and no one will ever do that again. And that was kind of hey, thanks Hester for how great it was. And I think it could be cool. I don't know if it's here. Let's put it this way. Kickoffs became a non-event the past 2 years.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on with
hot
kickoffs.
Take. I don't think Devin Hester had anything to do with it. I don't think Devin Hester. I don't think because I think the NFL probably would have wanted more return touchdowns. Those are really exciting plays.
Agreed, but they weren't happening.
Yeah.
So they had
injuries were happening. That's why they moved the kickoff
from 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why they then that's why we're seeing all these touchbacks now.
But it's honestly though, dude, I want to see more football, and that rule. And I think it was. Did you see the offsides penalty that happened?
I did. Yeah.
So
I think it happened on both sides.
That is super kind of. I don't want to use the word dumb, but it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But it's so you're telling me there's gonna be an offsides on a kickoff now,
Yeah. Well, there could have been an offsides in the old version of kickoffs, but now it's you're waiting longer, but you got to wait till they catch it.
Yeah, till they catch it.
I don't know. I think it'll probably grow on me. I remember when the pitch clock in MLB started.
It's amazing now.
I do like it. But I remember when it first came out, they had like the clock, like it was a digital clock behind the catcher. And
Before it started.
Yeah.
Before it was even a thing, they had the clock. And
And I think it like really bothered me seeing that clock there, and like there was something weird about just like seeing this big green circle, the big green square in the landing zone.
Yeah.
So it's like we'll see. I mean, I think.
I hope they go away with the landing zone thing. I think that was just to dramatize or just to illustrate where I don't think it will be like that during maybe the first couple weeks, but like I don't think going forward.
But into the actual content of the game itself, so no starters were playing. So it's like, what can we really take away from this? And I think there are some things to do for sure. So what I was looking at for this game is like, did it seem like the players were out there ready to play?
Yeah.
Did it seem like they were executing things?
Yes.
And I remember, so like you mentioned on the first drive on defense, we got slashed. It didn't look very good. And then coming back, Tyson Bagent, who only got one series, by the way, I was kind of surprised. That series was cut short on a false start on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
And, basically all these games are telling me, they're not going to tell me anything about the players because these guys aren't like not the big names. It was a reflection of Eberflus. So I saw that and I'm just like, uh-oh. But what I will say, there wasn't really much of that. And they even, Aikman and Buck actually commented at halftime that it was a very clean run first preseason game.
I was so surprised.
And in the second half, like where I think the Texans started getting a little sloppier with penalties, the Bears still looked really, really strong. Tackling looked really good. We weren't seeing like people blowing assignments. The Texans were moving the ball, but they weren't getting big chunk plays. So honestly, like I saw a lot of really good things just from a preparedness and a clean game standpoint.
So I would agree with that. So I was very taken aback by how clean it was because I was like, dude, these guys have been practicing. I was also forgot how fast the NFL is.
Yeah.
So like Khalil Herbert, like it was crazy because technically he's like 3rd or 4th string now.
Yeah.
In my head,
is he the 3rd or 4th string? I saw him come out like so. Roshan started this game.
So Swift is the real starter. Johnson is number 2.
I didn't know that.
Khalil Herbert's for sure number 3.
I didn't know that Johnson had overtaken Khalil Herbert.
Roshan's for sure.
When Khalil Herbert came out, I think it might have been the 3rd or the 4th series. Like he like immediately broke off a 20-yard run. I was like, oh yeah, Khalil Herbert. Like I just figured
he's a starter.
Might have been playing. Yeah.
No, but like I forgot how fast the NFL was, and like Herbert was breaking off chunk plays. I think so. Like my key takeaway is they're definitely running 7-7s all day. You know what? They're not. I would disagree with you. I don't think they were tackling well either side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Like they were chunk plays. Everything was like 6-7 yards, man. I thought it was like really chunky plays.
Well, I know so that's not. I don't think that's a function of tackling. I'm just saying like there wasn't like a lot of missed tackles in the open field and things like that. I think that the Bears might have been beat up like in the trenches and stuff like that. And yeah, there were some
because they're not hitting. I still don't think they're hitting yet.
But it's still so early. I mean, like,
that's what I'm saying. They're doing it was crisp from an execution standpoint, but the tackling, the physicalness, especially on the defense side of the ball, I did not see.
No, but I think they were playing bend but don't break ball as opposed to the stars. These two guys on the Bears ripping off chunk plays. Yeah. And another thing where I was initially very worried.
He had a bad drop.
Johnson had a bad drop. I think the first ball wide open probably would have broken it up. And I'm just looking like things like this, just like mental things.
Yeah,
that just kind of signifies like how well is your team getting ready. But then he just went on to just completely light it up.
Yeah, I looked up his stats actually. So Colin Johnson's his name. He was a 6th round pick, I think, or 5th round pick.
Is he a rookie? I feel I heard the name before.
Big 12 guy, got drafted by Jacksonville. Kind of got some hurt. He didn't look back. He's 6'6" though.
He's a big guy.
6'6", 220.
Which I'm not sure how well that will translate. I don't think he's going to be like a breakout star in the NFL. I don't know. I'm not sure how a 6'6", 220. I don't know. Like I wonder what his 40 time is.
I was literally hoping to find that in this.
Because he didn't look like a burner. Like he went up and got balls, and like he was getting. I mean, his touchdown, at least one of them. I think he had 2. I mean, they were pretty wide open. But is it Brett Ripien?
Yeah, Ripien.
Is his first name Brett?
I think he's from
he looked clean.
The Vikings or from the 49ers. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I've
he doesn't have a 40 time on there.
Okay, well it's probably not. Well, but no, and so quarterback play for the Bears looked really clean.
Yeah.
I mean, really not much else to say. I mean, he had good clean pockets.
Neither. Ripien played for the Broncos, Rams, Seahawks, Jets. Now he's here, so I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about.
And what year is Colin Johnson?
Boise State. Ripion's a Boise State guy, and then Johnson is 4th year, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. spent 2 years with the Jags, 1 year with the Giants, and then now it's his 4th year with the Bears.
So
no, he looked good though. Great execution.
Yeah.
I thought the offense looked good. I mean,
and then just as the 4th string quarterback was starting to come in, which he's a guy that's just like looking for a spot in the practice squad. The weather ruled in.
Yeah.
Game got called.
Yeah.
I feel like people. I mean, that stadium was not full to begin with, and then the rain came out. So I mean, like, I think we saw the people that we really wanted to see, and like I'm pretty happy with the way things are looking.
Yeah.
When's the next game? When's Buffalo? What day is that?
The other thing that I heard that was interesting was that like, so they play the Texans week 2 of the season as well.
So that is another, which is so strange.
Very strange.
I can't think of a time where we've ever played someone in the preseason that went ahead and played them in the regular season.
And like that's going to be a huge game for us because like, and I thought that like they did you listen to some of the commentary that they were talking about? Just like CJ Stroud and talking about
just like
Caleb.
Can Caleb do something similar?
So like exactly. So CJ Stroud's now kind of like the gold standard for what a rookie quarterback is. Like I think we all mentally took it for granted how great of a rookie season that CJ Stroud had. Like most rookie quarterbacks don't put up those kinds of numbers.
No, and I don't think it's reasonable to think Caleb will.
No, I mean it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like that, like CJ Stroud's an absolute outlier from normal rookie quarterbacks.
Yes. Especially as a guy who wasn't even drafted first in his class.
Well, I mean, we can sit here and talk about Bryce Young all day. Should he have been drafted first? Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's a really good point because like in terms of how things look and what the Bears showed.
I hope they showed nothing.
I hope they didn't show anything. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, I mean, everything looked very vanilla.
That's what I mean.
And like, I think that's kind of the point. And
that would go to your argument.
Some people, like I was seeing like some pundits online just being like, maybe that's why they didn't even put Torrey Taylor out there because they didn't want to show what the punter could do.
And like that's what I'm saying. Like to your point, that would be the only argument on why Caleb shouldn't.
So these are 2 entirely different teams that are going to be playing on week 2. But yeah, it's interesting.
Sunday Night Football too.
Sunday Night Football, yeah. So the first primetime game for Caleb. Hopefully they're 1-0 after fighting Will Levis and the Titans.
Oh.
But that's pretty much all I have to say about the first preseason game. I'm sure it's going to be featured in Hard Knocks. You think the Hard Knocks? Because Hard Knocks comes out on Tuesday.
Does it?
I believe so.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You got to give me the username and password. I literally brought that up on Thursday at basketball. I was like, dude, get it.
I didn't realize that this. So would it cover the first preseason game, or do you think that might be like a couple weeks from now?
They added it so fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next preseason game for the Bears, Saturday, August 10th against at Bills.
So it's this Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, upcoming Saturday. Correct.
Yeah.
So the other cool thing is, so this game, Thursday Night Football. So we will have football every Thursday until the Super Bowl.
That's
the week
awesome,
before
man.
the Super Bowl.
I'm pumped. Like I'm happy for it to be back. I've become in later stages of my life more of a fall guy, especially now that we are in the dog days of summer. It's hot as hell out there.
Bro,
right
but I was like thinking about it today. I'm like, dude, like August just started, but it's gonna go by so fast. Like these days, yes, they're hot, but it's like, dude, I love summer. I love the summer to fall transition like right now.
Yeah.
It's like just beautiful.
And we're like not there though. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Before
yes.
you know it was hot today. It was hot yesterday. But like it's coming, dude, before you know it.
So like we are still well in the middle of there's 4 months in Chicago that I say are the most useless and most awful time of the year. It's January, February, March, and April. You get to May, nothing but the good months of you got something to look forward to in terms of holidays, in terms of weather, in terms of things to do.
March is okay. St. Patrick's Day for me is like the unofficial end of winter.
Not for me.
For me,
April still sucks.
You never used to come to my parties, so you don't fucking know.
I'm sorry. I'm sure I have been to one of your parties, and they're great, but they don't signify the start of spring.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again this year.
Okay.
It's gonna be kid friendly.
All right.
It's gonna be celebrating a Bears Super Bowl. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. Sounds great. So that's the preseason game.
Yeah.
Like I said, lots of good things. I'm really happy. Like I said, these early preseason games are basically an evaluation of Eberflus and getting his team ready. And I'm very skeptical on the job he's going to do. And I think I'm on record of saying last year Eberflus has not proven himself to be better than Matt Nagy definitively in my mind. But I'm happy to be wrong, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So next up, big news that came up. I think maybe it was like a day or so later. Or was it right before the?
I think it was right after.
Yeah, so DJ Moore, this guy, I forget what day this happened, but this came out of left field in my mind. DJ Moore gets extended. He's got this year left on his contract.
Yep.
So I think it's good that they got it done early. I just was really not expecting this. I just feel like this is not typically the way the Bears move.
Well, so here's how I feel about the DJ Moore contract. Like,
and before it's 4 years, 110 million.
Yeah.
70 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think I saw something out there that said that he is the first wide receiver in NFL history to have the first 10 years of his contract guaranteed. We were just talking about like the nuances of the way they report this, and it seems like it's all over the place. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You also read that it is the biggest Bears contract.
The largest Bears contract, and then like
which my first thought was like Jay Cutler had to been paid for more than that. Jay Cutler got paid less per year.
Yeah, 10 years like 100.
7 years, 100.
Yeah.
7 years, 126 or something like that, compared to DJ Moore's 110 million. So first thoughts when you saw this come out last week.
Yeah, okay, so let me talk about first thoughts. So, like, honestly, the way I'm thinking about it is, like, polls is, like, I'm going to take care of who matters in this offense. DJ Moore is, like, we call it, like, accounting term, like, they call it, like, FIFO, right? First in, first out. Mm-hmm. He's a LIFO guy. Yeah. Last in, first. Oh, I'm sorry, he's a FIFO guy.
I was going to say last in, first out.
There's LIFO and FIFO. He's a first in, first out type of guy, right? Like he's
first in, last out.
Last out, sorry. He's the type of guy that is just like he opens the shop and closes it down. Mm-hmm. And that's the type of person that they want to build this team around. Yeah. And like obviously like him and Caleb probably got a great relationship going on, and like he's a cornerstone that like if you're gonna have a great quarterback you need to have.
Well, you say obviously, I mean, do we know that
he's got to be? They're not gonna give him that kind of money. The Bears wouldn't be shelling out this money if he wasn't.
I mean, I think it was a really smart move.
Seems safe.
It does seem like a safe move, yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, like for perspective, 4 years, $110 million. It's really hard to find like apples to apples comparison. But it probably makes him JJ what?
JJ up in Justin Jefferson.
What did he just get paid?
He got $110 million guaranteed.
So what was his contract?
Like probably like $140 million.
Okay, so like this isn't a crazy gaudy contract. It probably makes him like, I was just looking up some numbers, like the 4th or 5th highest paid in 2024 if you break it down by yearly.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible. I think
$140 million, 110.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
So I think it's completely reasonable contract. DJ Moore is not like.
He's putting up Hall of Fame. Like I don't have the figure up, but like you look up his numbers next to like Randy Moss, like Jerry Rice. Like, dude, he's got amazing numbers.
And he's been consistent for the last couple of years. He's not a guy with a lot of question marks in terms of his ability.
No.
And I think it's so foreign like that we're starting to see like players. Like I remember when Montez Sweat got re-signed as soon as we traded for him, but like when the Jalen Johnson deal came out, it was just so refreshing to see us like committing to these guys, like saying like this is the team we're building around.
John, that's how organizations are supposed to be ran.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, we just spent so many years like kind of rebuilding and like I think that
we're getting cornerstones.
It was also very rare for us to be re-signing our own guys, which obviously DJ Moore is not one of our own guys, but well, like we didn't draft him. Jalen Johnson is a product of the Chicago Bears.
Well, like technically a product of Pace. Pace drafted him.
But still drafted by us.
But still though, like when you look at like this is how you build cornerstones and how it works, right? This is what we want to see.
Yeah.
And like it's refreshing, like you said, and it's like how good organizations are ran.
Okay.
And I'm very pleased to see it, and I hope to see some more contract extensions out there.
And I think DJ said that, like, I think he said on like his press comments, like he wasn't really looking to make like the most money. It's just like we just started with a number that seemed reasonable, and I think DJ Moore is probably a guy who's just like $110 million, like the way I would be. $110 million is more money than I can even fathom. Yeah. So like at the end of the day, let's go out. Hopefully his mindset is let's go out and win some football games.
Yeah, and I think he is though. I think he's that type of guy that is like that. Mm-hmm.
So and then so that kind of, I wasn't thinking about this before we hit record, but what do you think we're going to do with Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen.
At what point do we make that decision?
I mean, honestly, like I think we talked about when they signed him. Like, if we get 13 games out of Keenan Allen, I think we're happy.
So you think this is weird? Do you think in your mind, even if he has a solid season, there's a chance the Bears don't re-sign him to another contract?
I want him to stay healthy, John. I think if anything, he's going to come in and like, I mean, I'm happy to extend Keenan Allen, but like he's also an injury-prone receiver that's on the wrong side of it.
If you're,
I'm happy to pay him and take care of the man, but like you got to show me you're healthy, bro.
So if you're polls, at what point do you make that decision?
At the end of the season.
You think the end of the season? Do you wait till the end of the season?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be extended right now.
You're probably right. I mean, he's not like he's holding out for a new contract. That would be. I think
Keenan Allen knows his role. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's coming off some injury years. I think he probably like.
I think he balls out. Like,
pay him.
Well, here's the thing: is like, if you're the Bears, so to play devil's advocate, I think, for the record, I think that we probably should wait and see how the season goes. If we're like at week 10 and Keenan Allen is healthy, he's putting up great numbers. I think then we maybe we'll extend an offer.
No.
But
why do I don't like in-season re-signings? To be fair, like we shouldn't be talking about contracts in season. What you should be talking about in season is your next weekly opponent, not worrying about your payday. That's when shit starts going sideways, when people start thinking about their money, their comp in season, right? That should all get like one of the best things about the Bears, all right? They have no controversies with money at all.
Yeah, right now.
I'm just saying, like, in season, you should, like, how often do you hear about an in-season holdout or in-season contract disputes?
Is Jamar Chase still not practicing? I think he was holding out.
I wouldn't be surprised. Keenan Allen's 32, by the way, John.
Keenan Allen's, yeah. So, I mean, I know, but like...
No desire to give him money right now.
Yeah.
DJ Moore's 26. He can have some money.
Yeah.
He can have $110 million.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, because we've got Rome Odunze. I guess you really just got to see like what does this offense look like
between Rome, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then you got
Tyler Scott, who's been catching some balls. Like,
I mean, yeah, he's young, but on top of that, then you got Cole Kmet, and then you got Gerald Everett, and then you got DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
there are a lot of mouths to feed there.
Yeah, so
Keenan Allen doesn't have to blow the top.
So I guess you got to figure out like who establishes himself as the real people.
Can't wait to see.
I just hope
I can't wait to see, John.
So, talking more on contracts.
Yep.
And even more crazy news: Jordan Love gets a monster 4-year, $220 million. Being reported as now the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. There's an asterisk there. He's really tied as the highest paid yearly. This is a relatively short contract for a superstar quarterback.
So let's talk about it. So do you remember all the dominoes fell? How it all worked?
Are you talking about like the other?
So
Tua
got paid.
Yeah.
I think Goff signed his contract a little bit before this stuff.
Yes.
Love got paid. Burrow got paid last year.
Yeah.
Like Jackson got paid. Like all these guys are getting paid, right? Trevor Lawrence got paid too, and like Love was just the last one on the list. No, who hasn't gotten paid yet?
Dak Prescott.
Dak.
Yeah, the Cowboys are in trouble because you've got to pay Dak at least as much as Jordan Love.
You know, like the Simpsons meme when the guy's like, "I'm in danger." Like,
that's
what Jerry Jones.
100%.
Jerry Jones got to be sitting there like, "I'm in danger." Like,
so
where else are you gonna get talent?
Yeah, so it's funny. So I was golfing with my future brother-in-law and his father, who are both Packers fans yesterday. So
that's a notch down for good old Sam.
One of the other guys had like a Bears hat, Bears head cover.
Yeah.
And I go, how many wins for the Bears this year? And he goes,
Two.
I don't know, man. Like, no, this is like one of the Bears, the Bears guy.
Okay.
Because he dropped his head. I gave it back to him.
Yeah.
He's like, how many dubs for the Bears this year? And he goes, I don't know, man. I'm thinking, probably like 17. And then Sam and his dad are just like, oh yeah, we'll see. Well, they still can't beat the Packers. And I go, how does it feel to just pay your quarterback who's played for 1 year $220 million? And even he was just like, yeah, I don't feel great about giving this kind of money to a guy who had 8 good games.
Yep.
So like there's the aspect that you're saying to it that all these quarterbacks are getting paid, and that's just kind of the market is what it is. But from my perspective, like sure, Jordan Love can ask for whatever Jordan Love is going to ask for. But if the Packers said, no, we're not going to make you the highest paid quarterback, do you think Jordan Love, there's really a market out there for him to walk and go somewhere else? Do you really think that there's like do you think there's another team in the NFL who would pay this much?
So here's where I'm at. So like when I first started seeing like all these contracts start going down, I'm thinking in my head, I'm just so happy we got rid of Justin Fields.
Yeah. Because who knows what Justin Fields could have demanded if we thought he was the guy.
But I'm just saying though, like part of the reason, and I don't want to harp on it, but I have before, is moving on from Justin is because we knew what he was capable of. And he's coming up on a contract. You're going to have to pay the man. Yeah. And like, what happens is like these quarterbacks have all the leverage, right? Like, I heard a thing on whatever. It was like, who's more important, the GM or the quarterback? And it's, in my opinion, it's the quarterback because like you cannot, at any level of the football organization, you cannot be successful without a quarterback. Yeah. And so these quarterbacks know that and they have leverage. So if I'm Jordan Love, it's like, I may not be the best, but without me, what are you? I'm more confident than I'm not. I know your system, and I know what we're doing here.
So, but like it goes both ways, and you're right. Like the Packers need Jordan Love.
They need him more than Jordan Love needs the Packers.
Well, that's the thing is like I think they probably need each other because I don't think that there is another team in the NFL if these contract negotiations fall through that is going to pay. I mean, I'm not sure how much longer is left on his contract. I don't think there's a world in which Jordan Love plays this year. Well, I guess if he rocked it out, but.
Fine, he stays on his contract.
I can't see.
If he rocks out, right? Mm-hmm. If he say nothing changes and he plays one more year, you know who to pay him that money or more? The Giants.
You're right. No, that's a really good point.
The Giants are sitting there with Danny Dimes paying him $70 million, and they're like, holy shit, we would die for Jordan Love right now in New York.
That's true.
Dude,
that's a good point.
We are such a quarterback-starved league that, like, these quarterbacks that are competent, like, yes, I don't feel comfortable with that number either.
It just feels like the Giants are a really good example, but it just felt like a lot of people who were, like, in need of quarterbacks ended up getting that in the draft. So I feel like everyone, like, has their starter. Like, there's, like, no team that I can think of right now. I mean, there's certainly question marks with the rookies, but that's a really good point. I'm thinking in my mind that there was no one who was going to pay Jordan Love right now, but next year, if he still played well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess I could. I
think New England would take him. I bet you the Saints would take him.
Yeah, the Saints are another good one too.
I mean, I'm just like we are such a quarterback starved.
Raiders too.
Yeah, cool. Raiders, another great example too. We are such a quarterback starved league that like, yes, man, it makes sense. It doesn't make like it's hard to wrap your mind around it just because of like the numbers and the fact he's the highest paid. But it's like that's a product of first of all waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why the Cowboys are in such a bad position because another thing, the good thing about DJ Moore is like you get this contract done now before the market resets. So something happens next year and the market resets, and then
JJ was going to set the market. Yeah. So Justin Jefferson set the market, so the 140, 110 guarantee.
But it seems like in today's climate, like things are just going up. Like no one's getting paid less. Yeah. So getting out ahead of these contracts and guys who you have confidence in is probably the way to go.
Yeah.
Which is almost why I wonder, it might like that the devil's advocate that I didn't mention before with Keenan Allen is like if we decided we wanted to pay him, would it be better to do it now as opposed to later? But the point being, he's 32. We don't know his role in this offense yet, so we'll have to see.
I'm willing to sit on that, but you know what? Here's the thing: is that like everyone's like. The passing the torch from Aaron to Jordan, and we were like, oh, Jordan Love's gonna suck. What does he do week 1 against the Bears? Fucking balls.
But he was rough to start these, so I think we had a different perspective. I think if we actually talked about it,
he balled the fuck out on us.
He did on us, but I think he looked rough. It was really the back end of the season where he looked phenomenal.
But like the thing though about like football in general is that like now we're in a 17-game season. Like you're not gonna have a perfect game plan for every single game. Yeah. Jordan Love looked more confident than he didn't look confident. Like if I'm a Packers, I'm not happy about the amount, but I'm happy to at least have security at the quarterback position for the next 4 years.
Assuming that he doesn't have a sophomore slump. The thing about Jordan Love, and this is me coming from as a haters Bear fan, but what I will say when I look at Jordan Love, he likes to make some risky passes in the way that Rodgers didn't, throwing across his body.
Fine.
If that gets picked up on, if he gets figured out, which sometimes happens in your second year, then the Packers could be sitting there looking, which he's not going to be bad. Jordan Love is not going to be bad, but I could see a world in which he's not like a top 10 quarterback this year.
That's fine. As long as, in my opinion,
I don't think it's fine. If you're paying this guy this money, I don't think it's fine if he's not a top 10 quarterback.
If he's better than 15 and the Packers make the playoffs, I would consider that successful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So like, I'd be like if he was like an 11 and didn't make the playoffs. Or if he was 15 and did,
that would be unsuccessful.
Yeah.
It's all about the Packers' success. Mm-hmm. If the Packers make the playoffs this year,
they're not going to care how much they paid him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like Jordan Love's given the opportunity to do that. Mm-hmm. So okay, you want to look at the Madden rankings? I just think it's interesting.
So yeah, I mean, so Madden is. I feel like it's all EA, so it's like it's not really.
Look at Tua's new look too.
Oh, the curls.
Well, he's trying to do like a he's trying to like GQ kind of thing, trying to get in the advertisement game.
They didn't get Burrow's new look in here, like the Slim Shady.
Yeah.
And he said he was just bored. Yeah, like which I relate to. I just kind of clicking through these. Like, I mean, this page isn't super surprising. Yeah, I think they did Jalen Hurts maybe a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
But then kind of getting in here.
Josh Allen was pretty dirty too, honestly. 92. Look at Dak, way too high.
I'm just, maybe I think it's probably just I guess I'm a Lamar Jackson hater. Maybe it's a function of not seeing him play that much, but I don't believe he deserves to be a 98.
He's an MVP, John.
I just, I don't know. I just have never quite seen it. What?
He's an MVP.
So what? So was Derrick Rose.
They probably should have won the Super Bowl last year, to be honest. They kind of just stalled out in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, like he did.
I'm just saying, like Lamar Jackson he's him.
Like I said, I've not seen
him.
I have not seen him play enough. Fine, whatever.
He's fucking reigning MVP. Chill the fuck out.
I'm happy with this list. Okay,
yeah, chill the fuck out.
Where I feel like Madden just does not like take a lot of care is like the stuff here. Like I think they did Baker Mayfield real dirty. You're going to give Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud the same thing. You're going to put, Matthew Stafford above C.J. I don't know, like, this is a mess.
They couldn't update Kirk Cousins' photo yet. He doesn't have a...
Yeah, they could have photoshopped a red in there. This just kind of feels like a mess here.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is kind of like the old guy tier. We got Cousins, we got Rodgers, Goff, Stafford. They don't really know what to do with Baker Mayfield. Not really an old guy, but I feel like Baker Mayfield...
Did you notice, by the way, the Texans uniforms, they were black?
No.
They were black.
Were they black?
They were.
Okay.
This is where I want to get. This is where I'm very interested in.
Okay.
Here.
Deshaun Watson, 75.
Seems a little high.
You think? No.
He didn't awful
play
last year. I love how no one's talking about Deshaun Watson's $220 million contract that's fully guaranteed.
Oh, that's the worst contract in history.
Yeah, for sure.
God. And I forgot he didn't play for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And the scandal associated with that.
Yeah.
It was all fully guaranteed too, right?
All fully guaranteed. 100% fully.
Oh my God, the Browns are. Just want to be happy that you're not a Browns fan.
I mean, dude, we can all agree on that.
Just like watching the Manziel trailer or the Manziel show a couple of years ago.
Yeah, on Netflix, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was so brutal.
Yeah, I know.
A couple of months ago. But yeah, so. I don't know. What do you have to say about this other than that?
So like I think that like that's actually a very generous rating for a rookie quarterback.
Anthony Richardson feels low. I mean, maybe I'm just thinking everyone should just
look at. He's like right next to Trevor Lawrence, previous generational talent.
Yeah.
Just saying though, like right next to Kyler Murray, like number one overall pick. Like it's like the number one overall pick tier right there. But interesting enough, go to the next page if you will. I just really like to see this though, that Bryce Young's lower than
73.
Yeah, and like even Drake May is higher than Bryce Young.
Is Bo Nix the starter? I guess he would have to be, right? Who else would it be?
Look at Danny Dimes on there, 7-1. Like I said, I think that the Giants would gladly pay Jordan Love.
We'll see.
All that money. But just interesting enough there. Just fun to look at ratings, just because it's a tangible number. That's another interesting one too.
The Bears are underdogs in only 5 of 17 games in the upcoming season. And you know what? I put a lot of stock after I lost that money on those Justin Fields overs, which a year ago we were sitting here being like the Justin Fields overs looked like locks.
Yeah.
I became a big proponent in the fact that Vegas knows.
Yeah.
Not necessarily rigging, not necessarily cheating or anything like that, but I think they've got some sort of advanced analytics that go beyond my brain.
Well, they're not in the business of losing money.
Nope. So
this is what I want to call to your attention is Week 18 away at Packers is a 45% win probability.
Compared to 52 at home. I don't know.
I'm just saying away at Packers 45.
Yeah. What's our biggest underdog game? Texans, it looks like.
No, that's our biggest favorite game.
No. The
win probability.
41%.
No, 24. San Fran.
Right,
we knew that.
San Fran and Detroit. Well, they're really giving Detroit a lot here.
Dude, that's the Thanksgiving game.
All right, so Tennessee, 72% win probability, 41% against the Texans. Dead even against Indianapolis, which feels a little weird.
Away early in the season.
58% against the Rams, 65. I think that's one of our higher. There's a couple higher than that. 65% against the Panthers, 51% against Jacksonville.
Wait, that's not home. That's away. That's the London game.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess maybe it's a neutral site, so it's like whatever.
Huh.
Washington is 66%. Arizona is 64%. New England is 68%, our highest win percentage. Green Bay 52.
No, it's not. Tennessee is.
Tennessee, I'm sorry. This is my first time looking at it in a week, man. Sorry. So Minnesota 65%, which it's at home, but that doesn't feel quite right.
I don't think Minnesota's gonna be that good this year.
Detroit 35, San Fran 24 away. So that could be a right good shit kicking.
Yeah.
Minnesota 57%.
That's a tough stretch right there.
Yeah, I mean we knew that.
We get the Thursday night game, and then that's Monday Night Football with San Fran or Sunday Night Football.
43% against Detroit at home, 58 at home against Seattle, and then closing out the season again. Well, not again. Wait, did we close that season? I just feel like this always happens. We close out the season against Green Bay. 45% away.
Yeah, it's
that'd be a good game to go to. I might be down.
Here's the problem about that.
Projected wins 9.1.
Yeah.
But favorited in 12 of the. I don't know. So projected wins 9.1. NFL ranked 14.
I mean, it's just like interesting to see. I think we're going to know a lot more after the second preseason game, really the first full preseason game. I just want to see how the offense looks and like where we're coming from in general.
Just a quick soundbite of our boy Tyson Bagent. Oh, I don't think I have the sound on. Oh, and this little gif here is my favorite moment from last season, where he like ran for. We were there.
Yeah.
He ran for. He ran for that first down. Crowd was hyped, and he just kind of like giving like
Come on,
yeah.
let's go.
I love that was my favorite moment of last season.
Brian Hoyer versus Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, that was
what a game for the ages.
No, wasn't it Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden came in relieved Brian Hoyer because he was so bad.
Real bad.
Yeah.
All right, was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Team Olympics, just super happy that Simone's balling out right now. Won the U.S. Olympic team gold and then the individual all-around gold. Yeah. Really happy for her. Really happy. She's going to be our Taylor Swift. Said it before. I'll say it again.
My wife has had the capacity to watch more of these events live, but she texted me being like, the Bears are getting some great press with Jonathan Owens being featured and the fact that they let him step away. Another great move by whoever made that decision not to make a big deal about him missing practice. Fantastic move. Because like a couple of months ago, I would have been like, I mean, yeah, I guess you got to go. But like now, like how big a deal it is like that needed to happen. If it didn't, it would have been a terrible PR.
She's doing great. She's got some great clips. Yeah. Like there was that clip of her when she's just like right before she did her stellar floor routine. Yeah. She goes like, I got this. And it's just like, it was just like a reminder that even Simone Biles has to say she's got it.
I did watch that floor routine.
Pretty fucking stellar.
I just remember yes, it was stellar. But I don't have an eye for the scores, but it was pretty cool the way like she landed her last thing and the announcers were immediately like, that'll do it. Yeah. like that's a W.
Yeah. Like, I think, have you seen this trend going on? Like, this is why I did not make the 2024 Olympics. Have you seen these trends?
Oh, yeah. Like these,
fails.
Like high school, like falling off the beam and stuff. Gymnastics is hard, man.
Dude.
I don't know how you get into that. It's like that and cheerleading. Like when do you first learn
flipping
that you can flip and like not be terrified about it? So, yeah, all the respect to Simone Biles.
I agree. I'm super excited. Go up a little bit further. I'm super excited about that, too. The F round, find out, fine. Oh, there's the DJ Moore deal, too. This, screw that guy. I don't care about him.
Okay.
Whatever. The Michael Phelps thing. That's actually super interesting. This is like a very underreported thing too. That none of Michael Phelps' individual records from 2008 was his last competition.
That feels right. Yeah.
Still stand.
Mm-hmm. So all of his records are gone.
Yes.
How many did I wonder how many?
He was so dominant.
I just watched.
He was so dominant.
I just watched Fink win the world record for 1500 right before we started this podcast. You know, it's funny because like I feel like every time I'm watching the Olympics, I feel like it's very common for these world records to get broken. And I think is it an idea of just like more training, more understanding of physiology,
better drugs.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
That's a rough take. I mean, no. I think if there's any place you can't get away with that, it's the Olympics.
Oh, what do you mean? The Russians were doping. You don't remember that? They got caught. That's why they couldn't wear their colors last Olympics this year because they started a war.
And they got caught.
Yeah,
they got caught. That's what I'm saying. Like they got caught and they got kicked out.
They just happened to get caught that time.
Well, okay,
they always get.
There probably is a certain level of this kind of stuff going on, but I still don't think it necessarily makes you like a world record just from cheating like that.
It's just crazy to me that I'm super. And you see my comment from the Bajan hard knocks
star. Yeah,
he's working his. What did he say? He
said he did a mile of burpee jumps.
Yeah, but he's working his face off. What was it?
Oh, well, let's go to the clip.
Were you thinking that the Bears might go out against a real established veteran quarterback?
Okay. You know, I didn't really think too much about it. I was too busy grinding my absolute face off in the offseason. But whatever they were going to do, you know, that's completely up to them. I can't control that.
What was the hardest grinding your face off thing that you did?
June 19th, shout out to one of my best friends, Derek Gallagher, 1 mile burpee brawl jump.
That's nuts.
Hour and 7 minutes. Let's go.
The guy, Hard Knocks
suck.
suck.
This boy, I love that man.
Hard Knocks.
I got to pull out the Tyson Bagent card that I got.
My baguette.
Yeah. Oh no, the baguette too. God, we should have gone to training camp to see if I can get him to sign a card or something like that, man. I just think he's awesome, man. I got the biggest man crush on Tyson Bagent.
I'm excited for the Bears. This will be a good season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So the 10th. So we'll probably be back again on Monday. So we record on Sunday, and then get hopefully
Hard Knocks.
Hopefully Josh Allen doesn't play. I would just love it if he wouldn't, just so we don't have to like see him just rock our defense. But we'll see.
Dude, he's got no one to throw to anymore. Stefan's gone.
I think Josh Allen is just that guy. Like I think he's gonna be the Aaron Rodgers type that just elevates whoever's on the team with him.
Well, I said the 92 was too low, and you said that feels about right.
No, I agree with you.
You agree?
I felt like the order of them felt about right. I do think that maybe
we should do a quarterback rankings before this starts.
We'll for sure do that again.
We did it so bad last time.
We were real bad last year. Let's see if we can do a little better next year.
All right.
That's all I got.
Sounds good.
Kevin, I'm not wearing a hat today. You want to do the hat flip?
Let's see if I
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.